So the obby starts simple because there's not really many obstacles per se for the first few levels that I actually have to overcome. For these stairs though, the thing is it actually slows down your momentum if you just walk on them normally, so it's actually way better to jump here. Now the thing with this pickup path is I actually had it memorized. I'm pretty sure just going through it normally like this is actually faster than wrapping around it, but I'm not entirely sure. But even like regardless, the difference is like milliseconds. What I did there was called a corner jump. Basically, I tried to route this to where I'm in the innermost of the obby at all times. You might have heard that being on the inside of a racetrack saves time. Same principle applies here. So that's why, and you see me do it again here, being on the innermost of the obby also saves time. And even when there's no ground there, I can jump to where I'm in, like I take a slightly shorter path. Now, it doesn't save too much time, but it's not very difficult to do, so I may as well. And next, I'm actually going to do probably the most insane trick of the run. This actually skips multiple levels. See, the thing is, this is actually a treadmill, which makes me go extremely fast. There's actually an invisible here to normally prevent you from doing this, but I can actually go around it with good movement. So what happened there was with that momentum, I hit the checkpoint. And then I had so much momentum that I actually died because the momentum pushed me off the platform. But when I respawned, I go back there because I touched that checkpoint. In a lot of obbies, the checkpoints won't work if they're for levels that you're not supposed to be at yet. But in some obbies like this one, they work completely fine regardless. So here I actually go to the side so that way I can manipulate these gaps in the edges of the platforms in order to take a faster route than what you normally do. Now here, it's just pretty simple, you know. There's not even like corner jumps here. Here, this slope actually slows you down for some reason, even though you're going down. So I jump to avoid it. I don't know why it does that, but yeah. The thing with these lava jumps is if I die, the run is just immediately over, and these are instant kill jumps, so I can't really afford to make any mistakes, but they're pretty small, so it's not that big of an issue. This platform makes you go backwards, so I just jump. That platform made me go forward, so I actually jumped in order to conserve my momentum into the next level for a little bit, but of course it didn't last very long, but it still saved a few seconds with what I did do. Now, alright, here it's just, you're just kind of walking, you know, jumping around a little bit. You can still see I'm optimizing the route to stay on the innermost on a lot of these, you know. Like you see a corner jump here, but there's not a lot of interesting tricks or glitches going on. But there actually will be, because coming up is an actual ladder. And while that doesn't sound like that big, there's actually a trick I can do where I can jump off the ladder normally, and this is called ladder flick. Now, let me explain how this trick works. So what I do is while I'm climbing the ladder, and this is kind of hard, so it took me a few tries to get, as you can see here, I'll shift lock into it, and then that'll briefly clip me in, and I could jump on briefly on one of those platforms. So yeah, it sounds complicated, but if you're when you're actually doing it, it's just you press shift lock and then space. So it's not that hard to do. I don't know why it took me so long. It's just because the anxiety of being on good pace kind of pressured me, and it also like just made things harder. Now, coming up next, there's this level. The last jump on this level is actually kind of tight, but I got it first try, thankfully. If I hadn't got it first try, all of the work I'd done up to this point to get this run would have been for nothing. There's not really too much more here though, so I jump along this to avoid having to route around it, and I finish the run at a world record time of 4 minutes, 33 seconds, and 43 milliseconds. I also have an old speedrun breakdown of my world record on this Roblox obby with over 1 billion visits from a while ago, but it's still a good watch and I highly recommend you check it out.